Mr Acting President, I rise to add my comments in support of the honourable member's motion. As someone who has invariably been called pale, male and sometimes stale, there are those who will take offence that I even hold an opinion on this topic. However, mine is a view firmly based in scientific facts and shared by an overwhelming majority of South Australians. And I want to say at this point, Mr Acting President, that I take each person at face value and appreciate them for their individuality. Small L liberalism, which forms a key pillar of the ideology of the Liberal Party, ensures that the individual is protected against the tyranny of the many, protecting minorities who the collective view of the masses might not otherwise drown out. However, the individual's right to choose does not extend to the protection of those whose ideas are not rooted in fact or reality. There are, allegedly, so many new genders being concocted that it is hard to keep up with them and their respective pronouns. Indeed, the online lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender news network has written that, and I quote, "There are no definitive answer as to how many transgender pronouns there are, as people are always creating new ones." Mr Acting President, I remain open-minded and respectful, but so flimsy is the radical gender theory from the collective left that their glass jaw is on display with their treatment of genuine feminists. Witness the vitriolic, the overreactive and the violent treatment of feminists such as Kelly J. Keane, J.K. Rowling, Germaine Greer and Victorian MP Maura Deeming. I may not agree with all of their views on these matters, but the type of feminism they fight for is undoubtedly pro-women. Those who are leveraging the attack on these women and on women's sport and women's public spaces in general are wholly embedded in the identity politics and intersectionality and their primary focus on the struggles of transgender people in enlightened first-world democracies at the expense of women. I acknowledge that there are some people who are born with ambiguous genitalia, considered intersex, and those who experience gender dysphoria. However, we know that these issues only affect approximately 1.7% of people who are born intersex and somewhere between 0.002 and 0.014 of individuals who are diagnosed with gender dysphoria. As a liberal democracy, we must not discount the needs of these people and must afford them equal protections and rights as we are all afforded. But this does not mean, however, that we must upend our thinking of what defines a woman or a man, or that gender exists on a never-ending spectrum. Instead, we can acknowledge and respect each other's differences without removing all gendered language from our vernacular. I disagree with those who would overemphasise our differences at the expense of acknowledging our inherent sameness, that we are all unique individuals on our path to leading fulfilling and meaningful lives. Vitriolic attacks on biological females who want to maintain safe and separate spaces for women have no place in this debate. To be traditionally pro-woman should not warrant being labelled a bigot. We must respect each other's views while acknowledging the biological reality that underpins the objective foundation that human beings are typically born in one of two genders. To do otherwise is to invalidate both men and women alike and is fundamentally anti-science and anti-human. In commending the objective of this motion to the chamber, I would only convey my disappointment that our time is consumed by defending the established facts which are acknowledged and understood by the majority of South Australians. I would prefer nothing more than to be debating the real issues of our community that they are dealing with daily, such as the high cost of living, the housing crisis and improving access to medical treatment in our regions. I know this place can do better, Mr Acting President, and I know our community demands it of us.